make homemade chocolate cupcakes. So before you get started, make sure you preheat the oven to 350. And here I'm going to add 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. See, I only have a half a cup, so I did that twice. And then I'm going to add the last 1/3 of cups of the flour. And then we add 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda into the pan or the bowl. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder also go into the bowl, along with the 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So after the salt is added, you add the cocoa powder, and that's unsweetened cocoa powder, 3/4 of a cup. And again, I only have a 1/4 of a cup, so I use that 3 times. And here I'm running out of the one I was using, so I'm going to go get another one. And here I have the new one, so I'm going to put that last 1/4 of a cup into the bowl. And then you need to make sure you whisk all the ingredients together, and we're going to set that bowl to the side. So here we start with all the wet ingredients. There is 3 tablespoons of butter that's been softened, and then we add in the sugar, and that is 1 1/2 cups of white sugar. And again, I only had a half of a cup, so I use that 3 times to make 1 1/2 cups. And you need to even it out on the top so there's not any excess sugar. So then we take the bowl to the mixing pan, and I have an electric mixer so it stands up and does it on its own. So here we add the vanilla extract, and that's 3/4 of a teaspoon. Again, I only had to use a 1/4, so I use that 3 times. And then we add in 2 eggs, one at a time. So I crack the egg in a separate bowl, and I'm mixing them in one at a time. So you want to make sure that that gets nice and all mixed together. As you can see in the bowl, it's still just mixing. So here we're adding in the milk, and it calls for 1 cup of milk. And you add the dry, and then you alternate between the dry and the milk. So I'm pouring a little bit of the milk in, and then I'll continue with the dry. For the milk, I didn't have a whole cup, so I'm using 3/4, and then I will add the last 1/4 whenever all this milk is gone. So I just continue to add dry and then milk, and those are incorporating in. And there I go, add the last 1/4 of a cup of milk. And then I'm trying to get all the last of the dry in there. So still mixing, and then I just pour the last of the milk so it all gets mixed in. So here I'm making sure that I get all the extra ingredients off the side and have that all mixed in very well. I turn the mixer up on high for a few seconds. And now we're taking the bowl back to the counter. And that is where I'm getting my cupcake pan, and I'm putting the cupcake liners inside of the pan one by one. And as I do that, I'm going to start pouring the cupcake mixture into the cupcake liners. And I like to use about a 1/4 of a cup of the mixture to the cupcake liners. So as I'm finishing that up, I'm going to take them to the oven, place them on the top rack, and then I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. So here I'm going to come back and check them after it's been 20 minutes, and I see that they are done. So I'm going to take them out of the oven, and I'm going to bring them back to the counter and take them off and just put them on a rack so that they can cool off. So now that they have cooled, I'm going to ice the top of them. I just have the cream cheese icing from Kroger and a butter knife, and I'm just going to ice the very tops of them. And that is how you make homemade chocolate cupcakes.